come along. I really want to show you something so interesting. For the very first time in our history, our company, Jean Stoffer Design, is doing a full project from start, where we find the property, to finish, where we hand our client the keys. So all the way from property acquisition to design to actually all the build. And this sweet little French house is our first project, and we're going to be showing you from the very beginning all the before, walk through the process, the design process, the build process, to the final completion. Are you ready? Come along with me. I think the thing that just struck me so much when I first saw the house was this amazing view. When you walk in the front door, you're perfectly centered on this dining room opening and the greenhouse window opening back onto the terrace opening with the beautiful fountain and kind of brick structure on the terrace. I'm headed into what is now the breakfast nook at the end of the kitchen. It's open to the front yard and the side yard and just has really great views. The breakfast room is open to the kitchen, which kind of styles the original 1951 metal St. Charles cabinets, which at the time was very premier. And then in a subsequent remodel, I'm thinking maybe the 90s, all of this decorative molding was added, and it was painted and glazed. For those of you who are around in the 90s, you know how high-end that was back in the day. But as you can see, this kitchen is not really big and not really open to any other family spaces besides the little breakfast nook. So that's something that I'm thinking about probably needs to change. Now I'm headed out of the original kitchen into this area that, well, there's a tiny little powder room here, which is a good location actually. And then this right now is a butler's pantry or something like that. But everything feels kind of tight and off-center. It's a lower ceiling in here for reasons you'll see upstairs. There's a little storage area back here with a washer and dryer, but the whole space, especially if a family's gonna be here, is pretty tight. You're gonna wanna see this. I mean, there is a lot of storage, but it just feels very tight. The house was built for a widow, and subsequently a couple lived here. But a family will live here now, and so I think there needs to be some accommodations for family life. It is a space in the house that makes a lot of sense to maybe have much more like mudroom or something, because the garage door to the attached garage is right here, and this is a separate staircase to an upstairs family room above the garage. There's very convenient. Just feel like it needs to have a little bit more breathing room. But now we get to enter into the room that sold the house, in my opinion. This is what was called originally the garden room. And fun fact, there was actually a greenhouse kind of situation here with its own little built-in spigot. This is also a very interesting fact about the house. In the 1950s, it was featured in Town and Country magazine as a beautiful small home in Grand Rapids. And what you're looking at right now is one of the views of the photographs in the magazine article. And what I saw in those photographs is a black and white tile floor. Now, before everyone gets excited, I read the copy, and it was a linoleum floor, and probably after a few decades, it was very worn out and replaced with this parquet. But there's something about me that thinks that is the right thing, at least black and white tile. I think I'm very fortunate because there are original blueprints that exist for this house that even show all the detailing, what was original. So we're able to tease out what was original and then what was added later. One of the items that was added later was this large dentil cornice. There was rope lighting put in there that shines up on the ceiling, which I think was also given this plaster texture that isn't original, I don't think. This to me feels a little heavier than everything else that's in this French house originally. And so I think we will remove this heavy cornice, just lighten up the space a bit. One other thing I realized, and I have to kind of get my head around this because I'm not sure how I feel about it. These doors are an addition. There was an opening here, but there were no doors. So do I like them? I kind of do. But they weren't original, and so I have to kind of think through the flow. The other thing that I realized from the original photos and blueprints is that all of this curved molding was added later. Originally, everything was flush. I think I like the curved molding, so it feels very French to me. So I'm just thinking through that one as well. It's such a beautiful room. It is separated from the rest of the house. So unless you're actually in this room, you can't really experience it. And so I want to address that. One idea I have has to do with kind of that wall. And I'll show you what I mean later. But come with me now on this side of the house where we have the living room. Okay, now this is the living room. It's a beautiful space. It's a generous sized room. It has the original fireplace mantle. I think there's plywood underneath this carpeting. I think floors need to be addressed throughout the entire home. But look at the proportion of the windows. I think they're perfect. And I think the pattern in the mullions is perfect for this house. I love the crown molding. I think the original crown molding is just perfect. It's the perfect proportion for an 8-foot ceiling, which is what this is. So I think there's just a lot of good things that I'd love to work with here. This little area is the whole primary suite area. This is where I think a lot needs to happen because things are just kind of squish scaled here. The main bedroom is not a bad size, but I have designs on this room to use it for something that's going on the other side of this wall, which is the garden room over here. TBD, I'll show you what my ideas, as they unfold, we'll work on that. But this is, for modern day standards, this primary closet isn't adequate. So we have to address that. And the other thing that's not adequate is this bathroom. It's serviceable, but it's got the 32-inch high vanity, the tiny little toilet jammed in a corner, open to everything, and the cubicle shower. It's a perfect bathroom for like a second ensuite, I would say. But this is going to be the primary, where 2 people are going to occupy the space, and I just think there's a lot that we could do. The other part of this whole end of the house has this small bedroom. It's 11 by 12, and its own little bathroom. This is an area of the house that gives anyone that's in here claustrophobia. Look at this. This hallway is so narrow and so long and so dark that anyone that walks here just doesn't even like walking in it. They just want to walk right by it and go through it. So that's something we're addressing for sure. The one positive about this long, skinny, dark hallway is that it ends in this beautiful, we're back in the front hall now. So it's a nice traffic pattern. And look at the detailing on this railing. Isn't that beautiful though? So come with me upstairs and I'll show you something that's actually quite surprising. It does not look very like there's even a second floor from the outside. but there's a full 3 bedrooms and 2 baths up here. So come with me. It's very sweet up here. Again, 8-foot ceilings. I think we inherited some really great wallpaper in this hallway. So I'm gonna try to save this grass cloth. I think it's fantastic. At the top of the stairs, there's a hall bath. It's very cute, and the wallpaper is very cute. The sad thing is that everything is just, you know, it's been here for a very long time. Here's the axiom. You wait long enough, something comes back in style. This was, I don't know how many decades ago this was wallpapered, but it's something I might even pick right now. But unfortunately, it's just, you know, it's got little things and that are not working anymore. All the wallpaper by the bathtub is all peeling. So we have to do some work in here, but it's a sweet space. Not much. I feel like this is take out old finishes, put in new finishes. It's super cute. So after the hall bath at the top of the stairs is right across the hall, there's this really beautiful bedroom that faces the front of the house with its very special dormers. And honestly, this wallpaper, again, this is stuff I would pick now. But here, come and look at this. See the watermarks on this? And that's just one of many locations. So we have to do it again. I think we're gonna wanna obviously change the flooring, but this room is a gracious size and has such cool architecture. So I really think there's so many pretty things we can do with it. Look at the light that comes in this window. I think it's fabulous. But again, look at this. See, this is what we're coming to fix. All right, this is just one of the 3 bedrooms. Come with me to see the other 2. Okay, this room, this is a nice size room with beautiful light, a nice big dormer. It does have some idiosyncrasies. The house is on a slab. So that means there are some mechanicals in places that normally you wouldn't see them. For example, the original fuse boxes or circuit boxes in a bedroom. We're gonna deal with that. It's the chimney from downstairs fireplace. And then the house has radiant heat, and here's where most of the valves are. So there's a few things in this room, because this is going to probably be a child's room, that need, I have a cobweb on my head, that need attention. But what's great about this space is that there is this whole attic space that is fantastic because the house does not have air conditioning yet. This is a big thing that we're going to be dealing with. And the type of air conditioning that we need to use requires a big, it's called an air handler, on the top level of the house. And this is the attic. So the air handler will go in this space right here that will feed air conditioning to the whole house. It's a great thing that we have that space. I'm so thankful for it. But look at all these pretty built-ins. Throughout the whole house, there are these built-in closets and things. I just love that about these old homes. All right, do you want to see the last bedroom over here? Okay, this is kind of an exciting room because we've already started working in here. This was wallpapered completely with, actually, here's a little remnant of it. This is the wallpaper. And Dale has been in here working with the steamer, getting all the wallpaper off, and he still has all the little fine tuning to do, but this is probably a perfect guest room is what I'm thinking, because it has an ensuite bathroom. And it also, this is the kind of the unique floor plan of the house. It has the door to the hall, but it also has another door to where these back stairs are that come up to this over the garage family room. So there's this little hall that combines the 2 spaces. That door can be locked, both doors can be locked, but it's kind of a neat flow, I think. this could be a really great situation for a guest. They can have more privacy this way. The guest room is kind of interesting because it, in a way, has its own private entrance. Because this is that stairway that goes down by the garage door and also goes right into the family room right there. But this is one of my most favorite features from the outside of the house, this little circle window in that little archtop dormer. Okay, this is a very fun room. Let's get an upstairs family room over the garage with its own entrance from the stairs below. But this room, the client that we are working with that bought the house wants to turn this into a golf simulator room. And he measured the height and he said, it's gonna work, let's do it. And so this will be very exciting. Golf, I think the screen goes here because he's gotta have his swing right here in the middle where it's the highest. So we're gonna work that whole thing out, but pretty fun. Okay, the last bit is just going down these stairs to the spot that's right kind of where we started from, the garage entry, kind of the mudroom, laundry room situation in the back door. So it's a really great house that has so much potential. Okay, one more thing before we go I should show you is the outside of the house in the backyard. It's so, I mean, we need to do some work on it, but it's so pretty and private, and I just love it. I'm just excited about this project, and I want you to follow along as we go. We're going to go through the whole design concepting, selection of materials, implementation of everything, execution. One little fun fact is that my son Dan is going to be running this project. He has his builder's license, and this is his pilot remodeling project, so we'll all be learning together, and I hope you join us.